we normally choose something a little classier, but we are ready to rock tonight. I'm so excited for everything that Brittany has planned for you guys. I think you're going to really, really enjoy it. My name is Ellery. I am the communications coordinator for Team Beauty Boss. I've been working with the company for a couple years, and I just love what we get to do for you guys. And we are so excited. We have a lot of you here tonight. So I want to go ahead and ask you guys, if you haven't already, please go into the app. If you're on the website or on your phone, you should see a file there that you can download and you can print if you haven't already. We would love for you to fill out these top numbers here, your current numbers, and your goals for this seminar year, because we're going to really get into it. And these are key pieces for our training tonight. While you're also doing that, please share in the chat. Under the video, you should see a link that says click here to join the chat. I want you to tell us your name, your location, and your current Mary Kay career level. We would love to just see who is joining us. We kind of have a lot of people from all over. So we see a couple people coming in already. Hi, Amita, Krista, Lori, excited to see you guys here. And we've got more coming in. So go ahead and do that for the next couple of minutes and print off that worksheet. Get yourself a glass of water. Make sure you have a pen and a notepad. And then we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, I am going to walk you through a couple of housekeeping things. All right, now that we've all had a couple minutes to grab our water, grab our pens and paper and our worksheet, I hope everybody has those current numbers. We've got a lot of people chiming in. We see all those comments coming in. This is going to be a really interactive event. So thank you for participating in the chat. Please keep that up throughout the event because we'd love to hear from you. And really, you're going to get the very best quality of this training if you can chime in the chat, because we'll be able to see a lot of you there. Okay, let's get on to some housekeeping chores to get us started. So tonight we're doing New Year, New Gram, presented by Team Beauty Boss. We've got Brittany Ash that I'll introduce to you here in just a little bit. But before that, a couple of housekeeping items. So we've printed off the worksheet, or we've got your notes. Want you to turn off distractions. We really encourage you to turn your phone on Do Not Disturb. If you're able to, close the door to your office or bedroom, wherever you are. Just be here with us tonight, because this is going to be a really great training. All of this training is for you. So we want you to feel free to take screenshots whenever you want. There are going to be some slides that have a lot of information. Go ahead and screenshot them whenever you want, so you can go back to them later. As I said, please participate in the chat. We'd love to see you guys here, and it just helps us to interact with you and know what you need, know what you're thinking, what you're taking away from the training. We love hearing that stuff. We are also going to have a Q&A session at the very end of the event. So save all of your questions, write them down on your worksheet or your notepad, and then I'm going to ask you to put them in the comments at the very end, just so that way I don't miss anything. We get a lot of comments during these events, and I want to make sure your questions do get answered. So save those for the end for us. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and bring on Brittany. Brittany is the founder and CEO of the Beauty Boss app. If you've maybe been with us for a while, you might know us as Instagram for Beauty Consultants or Team Beauty Boss, but she is our leader, our founder, and she has so much great information. And you guys, for as long as I have worked with her, the thing that I have taken most from her is just her passion and her love for the Mary Kay community. So I'm so excited to bring on Brittany and have her deliver this training. All right, Brittany, come on.
Awesome. Thanks, Ellery. Nice job. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. You guys, Ellery is our communications coordinator for Team Beauty Boss. And let me just tell you all, I don't know if you've had a chance to interact with Ellery, but I might be like the voice, and I might be the person you see up here, but she is the one who makes everything happen. She is the glue that holds us together. She is a woman of many gifts, many talents. And so thank you, Ellery. And thank you for coming on here and helping everyone get all set up. So I'm going to turn you over to the comments now, because I tend to be squirrely when I see all your comments coming in. So I'm having Ellery handle the comments so that I'm not distracted by them. So you guys, thank you for coming on. Who is ready? Who is excited for New Year, New Gram? I've been hearing from some of you. You've been texting me. You've been messaging me. You're like, I can't wait. So I've been excited, and we've been spending a lot of time putting this together with you, for you, and really with you, because we've taken a lot of your feedback and stuff. And so we are just so excited to share this with you. So one thing real quickly, if you all could please do me a favor, and you're going to hear us say this over and over and over about participating in the chat, but let me just tell you, one of the things I hate about this virtual thing. Okay. I love virtual strategies. I will talk about virtual strategies all over the place. I am passionate about it. I love working a virtual business. But I hate doing these presentations when I can't see you, when I can't feel your energy, when I can't see your faces and get, that feedback there. So will you guys do me a favor right now in the chat? And I see you kind of doing it. So some of you are doing this as well, but can you do me a favor? Can you let me know you're with me? I want to know, how are you feeling? How excited are you? Show me in an emoji, or tell me, yes, girl, I'm with you, or I'm ready. Like Amita just said, so ready. Can you tell me in the comments? Tell me you're with me. Give me some feedback here. And as we go through this, if it's been a while since you've commented in there, will you please come on and give us a comment so that we know that you're with us too. And that being said, so that chat, that's for me, but it's also for you. You're going to get the most out of this if you participate in that chat. And as I'm sure you know this, when you're doing your virtual events, when you're doing your virtual skincare classes and all of that, that the customers or the potential customers that are in the comments, they're the ones who get the most from the experience. So we want to interact with you. We want you to get a lot out of this. So please, 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 please participate. Okay, let's jump in here. So let's talk about what this workshop is all about. So you guys, this is 90 minutes. This is not a quick tutorial video. And most of you who know me, you're like, Brittany, none of your stuff is quick. But I am telling you, like, I want you all to buckle in here. Make sure you have a drink of water. Make sure you are comfortable, because we are going to buckle down here. We are going to get to work. I'm a little more casual. I tossed on I think those were from November earrings here. So I'm a little dressy, but honestly, like, I want you all to just be comfortable. I want us to get to work here. So who is this workshop for? Who should be here? Well, first of all, this workshop is for you if you are a beauty consultant or a sales director who is building a serious business. Now, I don't want to, there's nothing wrong with working a hobby business, okay? There's nothing wrong with being a personal use consultant. That is great, but I'm going to tell you, if you are just kind of dabbling in your business and it's just a little hobby for you, some of the strategies we're going to teach here might be a little bit more than you want to commit to. You are welcome to stay on. You are welcome to glean whatever you want from this, but I'm telling you, this is designed for consultants who are building a serious business, who are serious about moving up the career path and making their business, an income producer for them, a significant income producer. So that's for you if you're serious. This is also for you if you realize the potential of working your business virtually versus in person. And this is also for you if you're a rock star. You're like, Brittany, I can kill it at sharing these products. I am amazing at sharing the business opportunity. My biggest problem is that I don't have enough people to share it with. I don't have enough. Tell me if that's you. Tell me in the comments. Tell me in the chat. Is that you, where you are one of those people that you're like, Brittany, I'm amazing at this business, but I just don't have enough people. And you've got this little secret, right? You're like, yeah, I love my business. It's awesome. It's amazing. But you're like, you spend way too much time trying to get leads. And you have so much more potential. You have so much more to offer this company and to offer your business if you just had more people to work with. Am I right? So if that's you, let me know in the comments. Are you a rock star consultant who just needs more faces, right? So what are you going to get from this? So you guys, like I said, this is hands-on. We are going to be digging in here together. This is a workshop, not a webinar. We are working here. Okay. So what we're going to do together is we're going to first evaluate and analyze your current strategy. I want to see where you are. What is your current social media presence? If it's anything, where are you in your social media journey, in your strategy? So we want to see where you already are. And then we're going to take where you are and I'm going to show you a custom action plan for it because so many people are on here. And this is where I want you to chime in. I want to know where you are in your Instagram strategy. Okay. I want you to tell me in a scale of 1 to 5, how familiar are you with using Instagram for your business? So a 1 being like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And 5 being, I'm amazing at Instagram. Okay. I want you all to see the numbers that are coming in. I want you to see we are all here at different levels. And so because of that, this training, I want to hit on all different levels of our strategy. So we're going to give you a custom action plan. I also want you to take away from this. I'm hoping you're going to have a mindset shift in the way that you generate leads, both online and offline. I'm going to teach this to you from a marketing perspective. And we're going to be talking about this of like, what do other brands do on social media, particularly Instagram, and how can we leverage that for our business specifically? I'm also going to give you a better understanding on why Instagram. Okay. I know a lot of you asked me that. You're like, why Instagram though? Like I'm on Facebook, like why should I make the switch? So I'm going to share a little bit more about that, about why I recommend using Instagram for lead generation. Let me just tell you, let's just clear this up. I want to tell you what this workshop is not, okay? We are not here to just pump you up with a ton of motivation only to have it fizzle out by the weekend. Motivation is great. Motivation is awesome. I love going to company events. I love that feeling and that excitement. But as we all know, a lot of times we can go to these events and we get all excited, we get all hyped up, and then it just fizzles out and we do nothing with it. I don't want that for you. Of course, you're going to feel motivated. Of course, you're going to feel excited. But I want you to actually have an action plan. And that leads me to number 2. I'm not going to just give you a ton of information. We've done other workshops like that, where it's just a bunch of training. And then I'm like, all right, now put it into practice. Here, I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you a clear plan of action. You are going to walk away here with steps, with knowing exactly what you need to do, what you need to be focusing on. And this is not a tutorial workshop. So if you came on here because you're like, Brittany, will you show me how to use Reels? That's not what this is. I'm not going to show you how to use Canva. I'm not going to show you how to use Instagram features. We have if you don't know how to do that stuff, that is okay. But we have other things set up for you that will teach you how to do that stuff. So this is not a tutorial workshop about how to use social media. This is a strategy session. Okay. So this is a strategy session, and it's also a hands-on workshop. So I want you to be prepared to dig in and focus on this during this time together. I do want to bring up one more point here. And that is, you will get the most from this workshop if you are in fact participating, if you are in fact hands-on, if you have your worksheet in front of you. If you can't print it, no big deal. Just take out a pen and paper. You can do the same thing on pen and paper, no problem. So if you're driving, or you're getting the kids to bed, or you're cooking dinner or something like that, and you're just kind of listening, I'm gonna tell you, you're not going to benefit from this as much as if you go sit down somewhere, sit at your desk, and have this in front of you with your notebook and your or your worksheet right in front of you, so that we can do this together. And I'm actually going to encourage you that if you're like driving right now, or this is not a place where you can actually sit in and be hands-on, that maybe you decide that you're going to watch the replay later, and you can just kind of sit and listen in today, and then schedule another time where you can sit in and we can do this together. Does that make sense? So just so you are aware of just the format of this event. Okay, so also at the end of this event, I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit about our Beauty Boss app. I know many of you are already app members, but for those of you who aren't, I'll just explain a little bit about what we have on the app. Hopefully you've been exploring it, since we're hosting it here, and you've been taking a look around at what we have to offer. So I'll also be answering your questions there, but I'm also going to extend an invitation to you to join our Beauty Boss membership, especially if you want more, if you want hands-on help with implementing these things we're going to be talking about today. So let me just tell you a little bit about my story. For those of you who don't know me, I'm not going to go in depth here. If you know me, you know that I tend to be long-winded. So I'm going to just cut this part short. So if these are things that you want to take the time and read a little later, feel free to take those screenshots of anything that you see here. So just so you know a little bit about me, I'm a wife and I'm a mom of 2 boys. I currently live in Naperville, Illinois. I've had my Mary Kay business since 2010. I was a director for 4 years. I earned the use of 2 company career cars while I was a sales director. And I'm going to tell you, I moved around a lot in my business. I've lived in 4 different geographical locations, 3 different states since starting my business in 2010. So I'll tell you, I know how to find leads, right? Those of you who have moved in your business, do we not find out real quickly how to find leads? And that becomes a big part of our business if you don't have your family and friends to rely on. And I've created an Instagram training program that's helped thousands of other beauty consultants take their businesses online successfully. And I'll tell you, I'm obsessed. I am addicted to helping you learn how to work less and achieve more with digital strategies and Instagram lead generation. So just to tell you a little bit about how I went from beauty consultant and sales director to an Instagram coach, that all happened in 2018. I was working my business. I had stepped down from directorship a couple years before when I was moving out of state again, and I just had my first baby. And so I was working to move back up into DIQ. I was living in Ohio at the time, and I was working a lot. I mean, a lot. Mary Kay was my full-time business. And I spent a lot of time doing lead generating. I was driving all around the state of Ohio for parties because, these aren't my family and friends. So I was just taking whatever I could get. I was working probably 40 to 50 hours a week on my working on my business, working to get back into DIQ and moving back into directorship. And then I found out I was pregnant again with baby number 2, and we received the prenatal diagnosis that he had Down syndrome. And I realized at that moment, I can't keep doing this. I can't do this anymore. I was burnt out. I was exhausted. I felt like I was spinning my wheels. And I decided I wanted more home in my home-based business. I wanted more flexibility. I wanted to be able to work my business anytime I wanted to, not just around people time. I wanted to be able to, if I had a baby up in the middle of the night, I wanted to be able to work my business in the middle of the night when I was awake. And I found out I was moving again. We were moving from Ohio to Illinois. So I was like, I got to find a way to find leads that are not in my geographical location so that I can get leads no matter where I'm living, no matter where I'm moving. And I really was attracted to the idea of social media as a means of lead generation. I had no idea what I was doing when I started that. Honestly, like I barely had an Instagram account. I started it at Career Conference. One year when Mary Kay was like, take a picture of yourself at Career Conference, use this hashtag and post it on Instagram. And I started my Instagram account like in the audience of Career Conference. And that's all I posted for years. Okay. And so I had no idea what I was doing. And at the time, that was 2018, the company wasn't doing a whole lot teaching us how to do this stuff. We were primarily in person. So I started on Facebook, and then I switched to Instagram, which was the smartest decision ever. I'm going to tell you why in a little bit. And I kind of cracked the code. I created a lead generation system using Instagram and a Facebook group. So these are my results for my first year of using that system. I'm not going to go through them, take a screenshot, and you can feel free to look through those again. Our numbers are even bigger now from doing that, but these are my numbers for my first year of implementing that system. So what happened was 2020 hit, we had the pandemic, and all of a sudden the rest of the sales force is looking to take their business online. And so I started helping other consultants. My sister sales directors were asking me to come teach at their unit meetings. And I fell in love with this stuff. I loved teaching this stuff. I had a knack for it. I understood stuff that other people didn't. I had cracked the code. And I decided that I wanted to start this. I put my Mary Kay business to the side. I still have it. I'm still a consultant. But I decided that I was just going to kind of maintain my customer base and my team members, and I was going to really focus on equipping the sales force who wanted to take their business online. So I've taught this system to thousands of other consultants. This system helps you to work your business in 10 hours a week or less as a full-time consultant, all without sending spammy messages, all without spending hours a day on social media, giving you strategies that actually build your customer list, not just your follower list, and strategies that allow you to actually step away from your business and live your life. And you guys, I am a firm believer that it is essential as a sales force that we find a more sustainable and consistent strategy for generating leads on social media and actually turning them into bookings, customers, and team members. And I have made it my life work to find out that strategy, to crack that code, and to make that strategy accessible to everybody. Because if you're like me, you are not willing to miss out on living your life and being present for the things that are most important to you because you're constantly hustling for a business that was supposed to give you freedom in the first place. Like, how many of you found that out? You were like, this business was supposed to give me freedom, and I am constantly spinning my wheels here. I'm constantly hustling, and I can't, and I've put these chains back on myself, but this business is supposed to give me freedom. And that was not what this business was intended for. I knew that I was not working my business the way I was supposed to. And I wanted better. I wanted something better. And so that is why I've created the program that I did. That is why I took my business online. And that is why I am sharing it with you now. So you guys, who wants a makeover? All right. We're going to give you a makeover. Who's doing makeovers this time of year, right? Everyone's doing new year, new you makeovers. So just like you're giving your customers a makeover, we're going to give your Instagram a makeover. Okay. You might not even have an Instagram. All right. And we're going to still talk about how we're going to give your Instagram a makeover. So that's why we call it New Year, New Gram Makeover. So we're going to go through the process of making over your Instagram or your social media strategy altogether. And here's the process we're going to do. Step one, we're going to assess. And just like we do this with your customers, we're going to talk about where are you right now? What's your current reality? So you might ask your customer questions like, what are you currently using on your skin? What products are working for you? What things are you doing currently in your personal image and your skincare and your makeup? And then we're going to do step 2 is visualize. We're going to talk about what do you want this to be? What do you vision for yourself? You might ask your customer, what does the perfect skincare routine look like for you? How much time do you want to spend on your makeup every day? What kind of look do you want to achieve from your makeup? And then we're going to evaluate. And we're going to look at where you are and where you want to be. And we're going to look at what's in between that's getting you there. All right. And we're going to take that and we're going to say, this is what is working. This is what isn't working. And this is where you need to grow. And you might do this with your customers where you're saying something along the lines of, you know what? The skincare routine you're using is not getting you the results that you need. Before we jump into makeup, we're going to start on your skincare, right? And then we finally recommend. We say, these are the products I would recommend for you. This is the routine I would recommend for you. This is what I recommend that you do. And we're going to go through that same process here today together. And I'm going to try to speed things along. And so that I see Ellery going, speed up. Sorry, y'all. You're in for the long haul with me. Let's do this. Okay, so we're going to assess. Hopefully, you've already filled out your worksheet. Let me pull this up right now. This is what your worksheet looks like. Listen, if you don't have the worksheet printed out, just write down on pen and paper. There's nothing special about this worksheet, okay? So you can just use good old-fashioned notebook and pen if you want to. But what I want you to do, and actually, let me pull this up here, is I want you to fill out your current numbers. So hopefully that's in there already. We just want to look at where you are right now. Where are you? Where did you finish off let's say the end of 2022 in your quarter sales goals, whatever goals you're tracking. You don't have to fill all these in, just whatever goals you are tracking, fill in your numbers there. And then I want you to write down here, those numbers that you're looking at, what does it look and what does it feel like to you? All right. What are your feelings right now when you look at those numbers where you are? So let me go back to this here. So take a minute while I go through here and I want you to just finish up filling out those numbers on your worksheet. But I want to talk about something. When I talk about current reality, I want to talk about the Zoom Eek loop. Okay. And you guys, I was stuck in the Zoom Eek loop for years. Even as a sales director, I was in the Zoom Eek loop, okay? And here's what it looks like, all right? So you've got a goal, and maybe you come back from leadership or January Jumpstart or get your year in gear, whatever you were doing for your January event, and you're like, yes, I'm doing it, right? You are so excited. You're pumped up. You've got that hype. And you're like, I'm going to message everybody. You're working on the 60 faces in 60 days promotion from the company. You're like, hey, will you lend me your face? I want you to be my face. And that's a Zoom. Okay. Right. That's Zooming. And so maybe you do a lot of activity there and maybe you even reach your goal. But guess what happens after you reach that goal? You're exhausted, aren't you? Right? You hit your goal and then you eek. Because you hit the goal and you're tired and you're like, the last thing I want to do is message people now. The last thing I want to do is keep this going, right? So we're exhausted. We take a break. And then you're like, all right, we're doing this. Brittany, we're doing this. We're getting this goal. But your family and friends are tapped out because you just tapped them out with the last goal. You tapped out all your customers. Everyone's hosted you things. And you're like, I need leads. So you're like, how do I get leads? Okay. I'm just going to go out and I'm going to warm chatter everybody. Or you're going to cold message people. That's when we start with those spammy tactics, right? Cold messaging, random friend requesting people. And you're starting to talk to all these people who it's taking a lot to convince them to be interested. You know what I'm talking about? Like, they're not people who are actually like interested in doing this. You're just like, will you help me out with a goal that I'm in? And they're like, yeah, I'll help you, right? And guess what happens when you don't have quality leads? You get no-shows. You get cancellations. You get people telling you, no, they're just not interested. You got people ghosting you. Who gets ghosted in their business? I get ghosted in my business all the time, or they ignore you, right? And then you get defeated and you're like, nobody's interested. Nobody wants to book with me. No one wants to hold appointments. Nobody wants to do this, right? And we get all upset. And then we go MIA. Right? Sales directors here, how many of consultants who go MIA? You know what I'm talking about? Like, you're like, hello, are you showing up to our unit meeting? Right? You go MIA and you think about quitting. If you're a director, maybe you miss production, you miss your goals, and you're kind of broke right now. And then something gets you going again, right? Maybe it's another event. Maybe it's your director. Maybe it's, another consultant or someone else inspiring you. You're like, all right, let's go. Let's Zoom again. We're doing it this time. I'm messaging everybody. I'm giving away my entire store just to get you to book with me, right? We bribe for bookings, and maybe you're like finishing out. You're like, I got to get my 8 in for DIQ. And you're like, I just got to get people active. So you've got these consultants. They're not even working. You're like, girl, just place your 225, or I'll help you put in some for your 225. Put in your own wholesale. You're finishing out Star. And you're like, well, I'm like $600 short for my Star. I'll just order a bunch of miracle sets and put in my own money. And maybe you reach your goal because you throw it all together. But guess what? You have no profit left. You're in more debt. You're exhausted. And maybe your husband starts to be like, girl, like, babe, this is not working. Like, this is just crazy. This Mary Kay thing is a scam. You start thinking about that. You're feeling defeated. And you're like, why am I even doing this? Right? Why am I even doing this? You're stuck. Right? And we have a lead problem. We have a leads problem in our business. That is any problem you are having in your business, I bet you it can be solved by leads. But our problem is we can't get outside of our current network. No one's engaging with us. We've got no shows and cancellations. We got no sales. We're burning out and burning bridges because we're messaging randoms and doing spammy stuff. You're giving all your profits away, and you're also devaluing what we have to offer as a company when you're giving it all away in a state of desperation. And maybe you wonder, like, what am I doing wrong? Will this ever happen for me? Why does it look so easy for everybody else? I saw someone post that the other day. It broke my heart. She's like, why does this look so easy for everybody else? What am I doing wrong? Am I always going to have to work this hard? You ever ask yourself that question? Is it always going to be this hard? When do I get to actually celebrate and enjoy this? When do I get to live the life I'm hustling for? Or maybe you get stuck here. Maybe I'm just not good enough. Because I've been there. Have you been there? Maybe I'm just not good enough. And I want to tell you something. You being stuck, and this was a lesson that I learned, okay? Because when we get stuck, and I'm not hating on mindset stuff, but the first thing we think about is like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with my mindset? What's wrong with my motivation? And we think, maybe I just don't know my why. Maybe I just need to put up a vision board. Maybe I just need to say affirmations more. Maybe I need to just, pump myself up with music, whatever it is. And you're thinking that it's you. And I'm telling you, the reason you are having problems, the reason you're in the Zoom-eek loop is not because you're not good enough. It's because you do not have a consistent, sustainable system for generating leads for your business. Because all of those strategies you're doing in that Zoom-eek loop are not sustainable. It might work to go private message a bunch of people and ask people to help you out with a challenge, right? Like those are effective strategies. You will definitely get a lot of bookings right away. But I'm going to tell you, in the long term, that is not sustainable, right? Doesn't that sound exhausting to you? It does to me. It was exhausting to me. Here's what you want. What you want is a steady stream of leads that just moves you to the next goal, to the next goal, to the next goal, to the next goal. So you're climbing the career path. You're reaching your goals. No, is it this quick spike to the top? No, but it is a steady step by step by step, consistent effort. So now I want you, since I showed you what you want here, okay, this consistent effort, this consistent repeatable effort in your business, I want you to visualize what do you want. So I want you to take a minute, and I want to go back to our worksheet, and I want you to do two things. I want you to, hopefully you already did it, write in what are your goals right now? What are those steps in between? Remember, that's consistent, sustainable effort. What are you going to achieve by the end of the third quarter? What are you going to achieve in 30 days from now? And then I want you to think about, what do you want it to look and feel like? Not and I worded that question wrong. Not what will it look and feel like to achieve these goals? I want you to answer this question. What do you want it to look and feel like when you achieve these goals? Do you want it to feel rushed? Do you want it to feel desperate? Do you want it to feel like you are hustling and you are begging and that you are desperate and at the end where you are just going to collapse on the floor? Or do you want it to feel peaceful? Do you want it to feel free? Do you want it to feel fun? Do you want it to feel fulfilling? So I want you to think, what do you want it to look and feel like when you achieve these goals? This is us. This is our step 2 is what do you want? Visualize that. What do you want for your business? Okay. And just so you know, whatever you put down there, and this is why I say this over and over, it doesn't matter what your goal is. It doesn't matter if your goal was Red Jacket. It doesn't matter if your goal is top sales director trip. It doesn't matter if your goal is NSD. It doesn't matter if it's star consultant. It doesn't matter if you're like, I just want to make $200 a month. Okay. Which is totally fine and totally great. Doesn't matter what your goal is. You need leads. No matter what, you need faces, you need people, you need a steady stream of leads constantly coming into your business. Can I get an amen that you need leads, right? No matter what your goal is. Because I want to talk about this. When you have leads, when you have that consistent stream of leads, you get things like rest and vacation without feeling you have to constantly have your hands on your business. You get things like time with your family without feeling like you should be doing something for your business. You get things like happiness. You get things like freedom. You get things like fun, people. So I want to know, what do you want? What do you want for your business? So let's talk about lead generation and what you need to make this happen. So there are 3 essentials to generating leads. 3. It will not work if any one of these things are missing. And this is in your offline business as well as your online business, okay? You need visibility, attractability, which is a word I made up, and you need a conversion process. You have to have all 3 of these things here. So the first thing that you need is visibility. You need eyeballs on your stuff. And not just any eyeballs, you need the right eyeballs. Let's use like a bridal vendor booth example, okay? So let's say you're going to go, I'm going to give you an offline example to show you what I mean here. Let's say you're going to do set up a vendor booth, okay, at a bridal show. First of all, you're not going to set up a vendor booth at a fishing and hunting show, because that's not the right people. You're going to set it up at a show that's going to be your people. You're also not going to set it up somewhere where there are only 5 people coming, right? You're going to set it up somewhere where there are a lot of people going to be there. And you also want to set it up in a closet, right? You want it to be in an area where a lot of people are going to see you. This is the big problem that people have realized with Facebook. And if you want to know why I switched from Facebook to Instagram, it is primarily because of this right here. Because on Facebook, who has noticed the problem with Facebook that they can't get out of their own network? That you've got your friends list and you post and you're like, how do I get people outside of my network? Unless you random friend request people, which is spammy, unless you random message people, which is spammy, and unless you group poach, meaning you go into a group pretending like you care about being in that group, but you're really in there to find the people in that group. I call that group poaching. That you cannot get out of your network in Facebook in an organic way without resorting to kind of spammy techniques. And a Facebook business page, I know you're all saying this, what about a business page? Well, a business page, how many of you have noticed that your reach on your business page is way less than the post reach on your profile? And that's because Facebook wants you to pay to play on your Facebook business page. They want you to boost your posts so that people see them. And that's why nobody's seeing them. So you've got to post on your personal profile and you can't get out of your network. And so you post and it's your mom commenting and that one customer who loves you, who you love. And you're like, that's great, Jan. I love you. But like, seriously, like I need more people. Okay. I need other people. So it's really tricky to try to get out of your own network on Facebook, which is why I love Instagram, because Instagram is in its organic sense, in its the way that it's created, the platform, the algorithm is designed to show your post to people outside of your network. Literally, Instagram is going to work for you to show your post to people you don't know who it thinks would be interested in it. So this would be a great one to screenshot, because I'm not going to go through this stuff, but this would be a great one to screenshot. These are the Instagram features that help you with visibility. So visibility is one, and that's really, really important. Attractability is really, really important as well. It is not enough for people to just see your content and just to see your stuff. You have to attract them to you, and you have to attract the right people to you. You have to attract their interest, right? At that vendor booth, it's not enough for people to walk by. You've got to have an attractive booth for people to want to stop by and be curious about what you have to offer, right? So you have to have an attractability to be able to attract the interest of the right people. And this is where strategy comes in with your content, because your content on Instagram and your social media platforms, that's what's going to attract the right people to you. And then lastly, you need a conversion process. And I'm going to tell you, this is the number one thing that people miss on social media. Most of us, we understand I have to get outside my network. I got to get reach. We also understand I've got to create a post that's going to make people curious, that they're going to engage on. Most of us don't know what to do after we post. We don't know what to do with our followers. We don't know what to do to convert people from your follower list into our customer list. And this is the biggest thing that is holding people up. And I'm going to tell you what a lot of people do, and what I used to do too, is I would post and I would use engagement, comments, likes, shares, all of that as the indicator, as the metric of whether my business is successful or not, as the metric of whether I'm having success on social media. When the truth is, the real metric for your success on social media is your bank account, right? There's a story. It's a very famous story of an influencer on Instagram. She had over 3 million followers, and she decided to start a t-shirt business after she had 3 million followers. And you want to know how many t-shirts she sold? 31 to 3 million followers. So that is proof, okay, that she did not have a conversion process. She did not have her right audience in there, that it does not matter how many people you have following you. What matters is, are you successfully taking them from your follower list to your customer list? I would say a Instagram account that has 300 followers that they are successfully and repeatably and consistently turning into customers is more successful than an account with 30,000 followers who can't get a sale, right? The size of your account, the size of your follower list does not matter to a business account. We care about conversion. Okay. So, the reason that I switched to Instagram is because Instagram checks these boxes. Instagram checks all 3 essentials you need for lead generation. This is another one you can screenshot. I'm not going through all of these, but Instagram is designed to generate leads and to convert them into customers. All right. Who's still with me? Tell me in the comments. Are you with me? And are you ready? Because here's the fun part. Okay. Here's where we're really, really going to dive in. All of the rest of that stuff was background info. So I want to know, tell me, give me feedback. Are you there, or have you tuned out, and are you scrolling your phone and scrolling Instagram and looking for that influencer that had 3 million followers and only sold 31 t-shirts? Okay. So I'm taking a break to just drink of water. Okay. So step 3, we're going to evaluate. Okay, we need to know, where are you? Where are you in your strategy? Where do you need to focus? So I want you to pull up your sheet again, okay? And we're going to scroll down to this part, step 3, evaluation. Got it? So what we're going to do, before we jump in here, that's right. This slide reminded me. Thank goodness for these slides. Okay. I want to encourage you to resist the emotional roller coaster with this. What I want to warn you about is, when we start kind of looking at these things, we can start to compare ourselves. We can start to feel like we're falling short. We can start to feel like we're failing. It can feel overwhelming. It can feel defeating. It can feel frustrating. So I want to encourage you to look at this from a completely objective and honest viewpoint. I just want you to evaluate yourself. I want you to objectively look at, where am I in this area? How am I truly doing in this area? And really take the emotion out of it. Can you all do that for me? Tell me, like, I promise, in the comments, tell me you can do that we can look at this objectively together. And also, honestly, I want you to truly be honest with yourself as we're going through this. So what I'm going to have you do is to rate yourself in the following categories. I'm going to go through each of these categories, and I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 means nothing. Okay. I'm not doing anything. And 5 means I'm excelling. I'm a rock star. I'm totally BA at this. Okay. So I want you to fill this in your worksheet. So right here, so what you'll do, like when we do clarity, you'll write your number in this part. You can also do this on pen and paper. Okay. I love that. I'm seeing Pinky Promises. That's super cool. Okay. So let's jump in. Our first category is clarity. Okay. So I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 for clarity. And I want to know, how clear are you on what you're doing online and who you are looking for? And then I want you to share your number in the chat. Okay. So I want to know how clear you are. And here's what I mean by this. Do you know what your account is about? Do you know what you should be doing with what features, what you should be posting where? Do you know how to even use your Instagram account for business? Do you know these settings you should have, what things you need to have set up? Okay. So are you clear on what you're doing? And are you clear on who you are looking for and what you want to do on social media? And we are definitely not going to dive into this. This is like a whole 90-minute workshop in itself, maybe even more. But what I want to encourage you is that when you're thinking about your who, that you have a very specific target. You have a very specific target of who you are looking for, not just anyone with skin, not just women, not just busy moms, because newsflash, all moms are busy. Okay. So that's a redundant qualifier for moms. But I want you to be thinking about, do you know exactly who you want to find, who your perfect prospect is on social media? All right. I see numbers coming. I see 1s and 2s here. Okay. We're going to have an easy session. Okay. So yeah, 1s, 2s, put it in here. What is your clarity? Dana, no bad words about yourself. You're not pitiful. You're just at a number. Okay. So Dana, I'm going to encourage you to be kinder to yourself there and just put a number. Okay. No judgment on any of this stuff. Okay. All right. Let's do number 2. Okay. Section 2 is content. I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5. How is your content? Your content is everything you share on social media. These are your posts. These are your videos. These are your stories. These are live videos. These are your posts on Facebook, on Instagram, in your Facebook group. I want you to think about all of your content, and I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5. And here's what I want you to think about. Whenever you post something, I want you to think about, what does this say about what it's like to work with me? Okay. Every time you post something, it gives a sneak peek into your audience into what it's like to work with you. And here I'm going to tell you a few things. First of all, if you're posting just promo stuff all the time, like, I'm looking for 30 faces in 30 days. Can I borrow your face? I promise I'll give it back. Or if you're doing promo posts like BOGO sale, or where, promoting all the time, what does that say to people about what it's like to work with you? It says you're going to be asking them for stuff all the time. If I want you to think about, like, if you're trying to get bookings with people, why would they book with you? Right? Have you shown them that you know how to advise skincare? Have you shown them that you know how to help them with their makeup? So I want you to be thinking about that. What does your content say about you? And does that align with what you want it to say about you? Does that make sense? All right. Next is consistency. This is a big one. How are you on consistency? How consistent are you with showing up for your business on social media? How consistent are you with posting? And by the way, consistency looks different for everybody. So for you, being consistent might mean I want to post every day. For somebody else, it might be I want to post every week. So are you just doing what you want to do consistently? Okay. So how consistently are you showing up? This is not just posting. Are you responding to comments in a timely fashion? Are you responding to your DM conversations? So share with us on a scale of 1 to 5, how you doing on consistency in your social media strategy. Next category is community. This is the growth and quality of your audience. I want to know, is your audience growing? Or is your follower list growing? Is your friends list, whatever your audience is your audience growing? And is it growing with the right people? Okay. Is it all spammers? Is it all promoted on people? Or is it creepy dudes reaching out to you in the DMs? We all get them. Okay. It's part of the internet. It sucks, but it's just part of it. But I want to know, like, how is the growth and quality of your audience? This is your community. So rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 for community. Next one is connection. Where are you on a scale of 1 to 5 for connection? These are your interactions on social media, your content engagement, like your comments, your likes, and your shares, and private messages, and direct messages, and story engagement, all of that stuff. How are you talking to people? It's called social media for a reason. So we're there to socialize. So tell me, on a scale of 1 to 5, how you doing on connection with your audience? All right, scale of 1 to 5, how you doing on conversion? How you doing turning followers into customers and team members? Is your bank account growing from your efforts on social media? That's really what you need to ask yourself. Is your business growing from your efforts on social media? Because if it's not, what's the point, right? Why are we doing this? So I want to know, on a scale of 1 to 5, where you are in conversion. All right, everyone with me so far? I'm going to move on. So fill in those numbers there, and we're going to move on. I'm going to tell you how we're going to figure out your action plan. So you guys, as you are figuring out your Instagram strategy, it needs to be done in an orderly fashion. Everything is dependent upon each other. So a lot of times we jump into our social media strategy and we jump in like right at community. And we're like, I just need to grow my following. I need to grow my following. And then you have a really hard time growing your following with the right people. Or I have people reach out to me all the time and they're like, Britt, like, why is it all creepy people who are following me? I don't have any real followers. And it's because you didn't work on the first 3 steps first. You need to master clarity before you can start focusing on content. You need to master your content before you can start focusing on consistency. You need to master consistency before community, community before connection, connection before conversion. In order for you to have a successful machine, we're going to call your sales or your lead generation system a machine. You need to have that machine working right. You need to do it in an orderly fashion, because all of these are dependent upon each other. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to circle the first category that you put a number 3 or lower. And I put 30-day focus, but we're going to change that. Okay. But that's your focus there. So, your next focus, I want you to write that here. The first category, so the one at the top, the first one that you put a 3 or a lower. So let me show you what I mean here. So, for instance, let's say you got a 4 for clarity, but a 3 for content. Your focus is content. You've pretty much mastered clarity. Your focus is content. So that way you can see which is your first category there. Share your focus with us in the comments. We'd love to know what did you get as yours. I'll still keep going here if you still have questions. You might be wondering, like, what if I have all the same number? What if I all have 1s or all 2s or all 3s? Then you just start at the bottom. Okay. You start at the first one that's a 3 or below. So you'd start at clarity. Now, some of you might be asking, like, what if I have all 4s and 5s? What if none of mine are 3 or lower? Then, girl, you're in a good spot. Okay. Your focus is called scale. So write down scale as your focus. All right. And I'm going to go through each of these and give you your action plan. But first, I want to know, what'd you get? What is your focus? So share your focus in the comments. Trina's going to be working on clarity. Who else has them? Krista's clarity. I bet we're going to have a lot of clarities. Clarity is what Margaret's doing. Awesome. Nicole, you're doing clarity. Love it. Hey, Nicole. Amita, my focus is everything. Well, your focus is clarity, Amita. If it's everything, we're going to master clarity first. Okay. So what are we going to do? All right. I'm going to go through all the action plans. I know a lot of you have clarity, but we're going to go through all the action plans. So I'm going to give you my recommendations according to your focus. What I want you to do is, I know I said a 30-day focus, but I was kind of thinking about this today as I was practicing my presentation here. I was like, really? And I forgot to just change stuff. You should be focusing on it until you get it to a 4 or 5. Okay. So until you feel your clarity is at a 4 or 5, then move on to what is the next one? Content. There we go. I'm going to give you a checklist for each action plan. I'm going to give you 3 steps for you to focus on. I'm just going to give you 3. I could give you 100 for each of them, but I'm just going to give you 3 today, so we're not crazy overwhelmed and all of that. I am going to go through all of them here. I only want you to focus on your action plan, okay? But take notes on all the rest of them, because you'll need to know those things as well. But for the next 30 days, or until you get it to a 4 or 5, I want you to focus on your specific action plan, and I don't want you to implement the other stuff yet. Does that make sense? Because you need to do this orderly. I'm also going to show you, after each action plan, the programs and things that we offer within the Beauty Boss app. So that way, if you are a Beauty Boss member, you know what to plug into. And if you're not a member yet, you can see if it would be a fit for you, depending on the action plan that you got. So let's talk about clarity. That's what you all got, okay? So everyone needs to focus on clarity. So you need to focus on getting a game plan. Write that down. Getting a game plan. So you need to know what you're doing and who you're looking for. So first things first, if you do not have an Instagram business account, you need to start one. You need to set one up. You need to spend some time really defining your Instagram niche. Your niche is your who you are looking for. So like your perfect prospect, the who, the what you do for them, how you like what you help them to do. If there's what problem you help them solve or what results you help them get. Why they want that help, and how you help them. Okay. So it's the who, what, why, and how for your audience. And then you need to optimize your bio or your profile to clearly state that who you help and what you help them to do. For instance, it could be something like, let's do anti-aging skincare for nurses. It could be foundation matching for moms. It could be retinol for empty nesters. Get it? Like, I want you to pick an audience and pick what you do for them. And then optimize your bio to clearly state that. And just so you know, and you want to write this down, your personal profiles, your bio should be about you. Like, Jesus follower, wife, mom, coffee lover, whatever you want to say about yourself. Your business profiles need to be about your audience. It needs to show your audience what you do for them. Okay. So your business accounts are always audience focused, whereas your personal accounts can be you focused. Okay. So this is your clarity game plan. I'm going to show you some things that we've got available to you that will help you to clarify. So for those of you who want something more and want more step-by-step guidance in how to do that, I highly recommend our Insta Launch Challenge. Who's taken our Insta Launch Challenge? Give us the testimonial. Tell us what you've thought of our Insta Launch Challenge. So it's a 6-week challenge that's going to get your entire strategy in place. So week 1, week 2, week 3, we're going to focus on clarity. Week 1, Beauty Boss Unleashed, we're going to really nail down that niche. Week 2, we're going to set up your conversion process. And week 3, we're going to set up your Instagram account to communicate everything you need to your audience. All right, next category is content. And what you need to focus on is creating better content, right? That's very obvious. You need to create better content. That's what you need to do. So when I said before, you want to be thinking about who are your posts for? Who is your content for? And what does it say about you? What does your content say about what it's like to work for what it's like to work with you, not for you, and that impression they're giving them. So I want you to think about this. If you're not getting bookings, who's going to book with you? Who's going to book a makeup appointment to learn how to apply their makeup for their wedding if they don't know you know how to teach makeup? Who's going to book a skincare class with you if they don't know you know anything about skincare? Who's going to join your team if they don't know you can help them be successful? Because all you're doing is just posting about the products you sell. And that is presenting yourself as a seller of products, as a beauty brand, when you really want to be presenting yourself as a beauty consultant or a business coach, so that it attracts the people who are looking for help in that area. So what you want to do here, I want you to focus for the next 30 days. Here's a 30-day one. I want you to focus on this. Creating content that shows your audience you know them. Show them you know them. Show them you know what they're struggling with, what their pain points are, what they're frustrated with, what problems they need solved. Show them you know them. Tell stories that relate to them, really relate to your audience. And that's what really helps to have that specific niche audience already clarified in the first step. Get what I'm saying? Next, you need to show them you know your stuff. Educate them, give them tips, tutorials, demonstrations. Show them you know what you're talking about, so that they look at you as an expert. And last, you need to show them proof. Show them before and after makeover. Show them behind the scenes of you working with a customer. Show them behind the scenes of you actually just working your business, training your team. Show them the prizes you've earned. Show them testimonial screenshots of customers who said, oh my gosh, I love my Miracle Set. I'm totally obsessed, right? So you've got to show them those things. And I want you to focus on just this for the next 30 days. If you want help with your content, here's where we help you. In our Insta Launch Challenge, we cover it in week 4. We talk a lot about your content in week 4. We also have our Beauty Boss content calendar, which we give you over 90 pieces of planned content per month. We give you posts for your Instagram feed, your Instagram stories, and your Facebook group, and all the posts work together to drive people to your other channels. We give you templates, downloadable images, captions, hashtags, follow-up scripts. We give you everything you need for your content. And this content, people, this is not just like space filler content. This is not just engagement bait to get you a lot of likes and comments. We care about that, but we care more about conversion. This content is designed to get you sales, to get you customers, to get you team members and bookings and booking conversations, okay? So everything is strategically planned to do that for you. And everything, there's a variety of media. So people ask, are there reels? We have reels, we have images, we have carousels, we have photo prompts. We give you everything that you need to attract the right audience to you. Okay. Next one, your focus is consistency. Well, you need to focus on getting consistent, okay? So one thing I want you to decide on a posting schedule you can stick to no matter what. So one of the top questions people ask me is, how often should I be posting? So the first thing I want to tell you is the more you post, the faster the results you get, okay? Period. The more activity you do, the faster your results. The more booking calls you make, the faster your results. The more warm chatters you do, the faster your results. The more sharing appointments you do, the faster the results, right? Because you're seeing more people, and every time you post, it's eyeballs for you. But, okay, consistency is more important than frequency. So the algorithm cares more that you are consistent and that you just show up at the same time every week or the same time every day or whatever that is for you, and that you just stick to a schedule, and that's going to help it to really predict your algorithms. So I want you to decide, what is the maximum frequency of posting that you can stick to for the next 30 days, no matter what? Is it 3 times a day? Is it 3 times a week? Is it once a week? Monday through Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Just pick a posting schedule, and I want you to stick to it for the next 30 days and really focus on getting consistent. Another thing that will help you will be to do a post scheduler. So to use a platform or technology to schedule your posts for you. I'm a busy woman. I schedule out my posts. I don't have time to remember to be on social media every day. I've got a lot to do, and I know you do too. I also want you to get really consistent, making sure that you are replying to all comments, stories, and DMs ASAP. So focus on these three things: posting schedule, scheduling out your post according to that schedule, and engaging on all of the engagement on your stuff. How we help you, weeks 4, 5, and 6, we really dig deep into helping you to be equipped with the regular strategies you need to be doing with your consistent posting and with your consistent conversations with people to generate leads. We call those income producing activities. And I'm going to give you all a tool right now, a special gift to you that I want you to write down. Okay. It is called the Power Hour, and this is going to change your life. And it is going to change your it's going to at least change your social media strategy, which is going to change your business, which is going to change your life. Okay. And this is 1 hour. Okay. I want you to set a timer for 1 hour. And what you're going to do for the first 15 minutes, you're going to engage on other accounts. These can be accounts that are your perfect prospect that you just want to, like Instagram warm chatter. Okay. Just talk to random people, comment on their accounts, comment on their posts. Or these could be source accounts. These could be bigger accounts that have your perfect prospect engaging on them. Second 15 minutes is you're going to create a post and post it on your feed, on your Instagram feed. Listen, if it takes more than 15 minutes for you to create a post, that means you're working too hard to make it perfect, and it's going to be a waste of your time. Okay. Any post that takes more than 15 minutes is not worth it on Instagram. Okay. Quality content is important, but done is better than perfect. Say that out loud. Done is better than perfect. 15 minutes is all you get to come up with a post. Then you're going to take the next 15 minutes to post on your Instagram stories. You won't need all 15 minutes. Maybe that's where you'll take your time to tweak your post if you want to. Okay. But posting your story is a really easy story. Is just share your post to your story and then put an engagement sticker to ask a question about it. And then the final 15 minutes is you're going to follow up with everyone who's engaged with you, all the comments, all the stories, responses, all the DMs. So this is your Instagram Power Hour. Take a screenshot, save it as the background of your phone, and go try it tomorrow. It's an awesome strategy. We also have in month 2 of your membership, you will get access to the Power Hour Challenge, which is 28 days of Power Hours. It's really fun. It's really motivating. And yeah, it's going to really get you going. So it's a challenge for you to complete where you'll do 28 days of doing a Power Hour every day. All right, next one is community. If your focus is community, you need to focus on growing your real audience, okay? Not just growing your audience of random followers, growing your audience of perfect prospects in your followers. Here's your checklist. Number 1, we're going to start upping your frequency here, okay? So now that you've gotten consistency down, now we're going to step up your frequency. If you need to be growing your audience, you need to be doing 5 Power Hours a week to really get some significant growth in your audience. You don't have to do it forever, but at least for 30 days, 5 Power Hours a week. Every week, do 3. So 3 of those posts should be reels in order to get more visibility. And then research and use specific and relevant hashtags and keywords. So start implementing hashtags and keywords to get your stuff seen by more people. In the Insta Launch Challenge, we work on this in week 1, where we really are talking about targeting your audience and knowing who you should be looking for in hashtags and all of that. And then we also handle it in week 4, 5, and 6, where we're going to really work on your growing your audience here and growing the right audience. Okay, on to connection. All right, if your focus is connection, then you need to focus on getting them in the DMs. That needs to be your number 1 focus, is get DM conversations started. Get those conversations going in private message and direct message. So one thing you can do is you can send a welcome message to all new followers that say, hey, welcome. I saw you started following me. Just wanted to introduce myself and say, hi, what prompted you to follow my account? Just start a conversation with them. Stories are a great way to start a conversation in the DMs, because all story responses go to the DMs. So you can post 3+ stories a day with an engagement sticker, or ask them to reply, and ask for engagement on every post caption. So saying things like, hey, first I want to talk here. A lot of people don't realize they need to do this. Okay. We just do, like, we post a link to our website in a post, which, by the way, please don't do that. But also you're missing out on engagement because you're not asking for it. So you need to ask them a question at the end. You can ask them something like, let me know below. Was this helpful? Do you agree? Tell me about a time when this has happened to you. Share this post to your stories. Share this post with a friend who you think needs to hear it. Tag a friend below who you think that would enjoy these tips. Save this post for later for the next time you're doing your makeup or whatever. So start asking for engagement in every single post caption to increase your engagement. Okay. We really dive into that in week 5, conversations that crush it in the Insta Launch Challenge. All right. Next focus is conversion. I'm going through these fast because I know a lot of you mostly have the beginning ones, but I want you to know this info for when you get there. If your focus is conversion, you need to focus on inviting, presenting, and following up. That needs to be your number one focus, is taking your audience and getting your sales. If you've made it to conversion, you are at the point where your account is growing. You've really clarified your niche. You know your audience really well. You're getting a lot of conversations in the DMs. You're getting a lot of engagement on your posts. Your content is top notch and you are super consistent, right? You've hit all of those. And now you're at the point of conversion that you're like, I really need to focus on taking my audience and converting them here. You want to focus on every DM conversation, inviting them to something. Invite them to your Facebook group. Invite them to your next virtual skincare class. Invite them to fill out a beauty assessment. Invite them to the next It Fits presentation. So invite. Really curl your toes. I was once told that, like, curl your toes and just ask them, invite them to things. And it might be something super easy, like, hey, based on what you told me, I think that you would really benefit from being part of my Facebook group. We share lots of tips and blah, blah, blah. Do you want the link? Or you could say, based on what we've been talking about, I think I would really recommend that you come to my next skincare class. We're going to be talking about this stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'll even send you samples. So you can put it from the aspect of, I would recommend to you based on what you told me. Here's what I would recommend. Okay. So have those conversations in the DMs. We also do have a lot of those scripts in our content calendar too. So I don't know if you guys who have access to content calendar have noticed that. We often give you scripts for how to follow up with people who respond to your stuff. I want you to really streamline your product presentation. So if it's your skincare class, go start really practicing it, record it, watch it, send it to other people, really perfect that presentation so you've got it down pat. And streamline your coaching and follow-up processes and scripts in the DMs. So your big thing, if you're going to focus on only one thing here, it'd be follow-up. Especially if people ghost you. What are you saying if they ghost you? Are you getting back to them 3 days later and being like, hey, I don't know if you received my last text. I didn't want you to miss out in case you were interested. Like, really, I call it sweeping the corners. I don't know why, but that's how I visualize it. That you're just like, you know how you sweep your floor, like a big one there, and then you go back through and you sweep your corners? Go sweep your corners. Get everybody. I don't know why I thought of it that way. I don't even sweep, but I vacuum. But but like, get in the corners, get everybody that you might have missed. And then, yes, we talk about this in the Insta Launch Challenge. In week 2, setting up your selling machine is all about conversions. Week 5 is all about those conversations in the DMs. And as I said, also in our content calendar, we give you those scripts for follow-up according to what they post. All right, now my scale, ladies. I don't know if we have anyone on here, but this is definitely something to aspire to, because here's what scale means. Scale means your machine is working. It means all your stuff is working. Your content is working. Your niche is working. Your scripts are working. Everything is working. It's just not enough people if you're not making your goals. So what you need to do is you need to reach more people. Okay. So some things you need to do is, number 1 is to increase your activity proportionately to your goal. I'm sorry, you guys, I've got like a tickle in my throat. So let's say your goal is to finish out Queen's Court of sales, of retail sales, by seminar 2023. And we know you need 40,000 retail to finish that goal. And right now you're on track to hit Princess Court. Right now you're on track for 20,000. But all of your stuff is working. Like, you're getting customers. It's working. It's just not getting you to your goal. And right now you're doing 5 power hours a week. Well, you need to double your results, right? You need to go from 20,000 to 40,000. So that means you need to double your activity. So you need to go from 5 power hours to 10 power hours, right? So you increase your activity proportionately to your goal. We call that scaling your business. I know it's the only not C word that I had in there, but like there's no other word for it. It's scaling. All right. Other things you can do, start expanding to other social media platforms. TikTok is incredible for getting you in front of bigger audiences. They have incredible visibility. Pinterest and YouTube. I love Pinterest and YouTube. Why? Because they show up on a Google search. Okay. So those would be some of the platforms I would recommend you looking into. And because you're going to be doing all this extra activity, you're going to be doubling your power hours or tripling your power hour, whatever it is. You're also going to be, repurposing your content on other platforms. It's a lot more work to scale. You need to start taking stuff off your plate. And these would be things like you're going to start bringing in delegation, like assistance or automating, using automation strategies to free up your time so that way you can focus on those growth activities. So we handle this in the Leads for Life system. We also have another course called Build Your Routine that you get later on as you're longer a member that really helps you to scale your business. So that is what we offer to you in the app to help you to put those things into place. You might be totally set with your action plan. You're like, Britt, I got it. I'm going to do it. I know exactly what to do. But if you're sitting here and you're like, okay, I've got these 3 steps in front of me, but I'm not exactly sure what to do. I'm not exactly sure how to do this. I'm going to invite you to join us on our Beauty Boss app. I'm going to invite you to join our membership where we are going to help you to do that. So I would like to know, who are our members? Can you tell us in the chat if you're already a Beauty Boss member? Tell us something you love about the app, what your favorite thing is about the app that we've talked about there. But I'm going to go through our what we offer on the app for those of you who are thinking about it, who are thinking maybe this might be something you want to do. We have really 4 main ways that we help you. First way is training. Okay. So that's where you've got that Insta Launch Challenge, that Power Hour Challenge. We've got a ton of other courses: Build Your Routine, Build Your Brand, Glam Your Gram, which is all about like branding and colors and fonts and all of that. We got tons of training for you, plus content, which is that content calendar. Actually, I have slides for these. I don't know why I'm doing it here. We have training plus content plus community plus support. Training, I already talked to you about. You've probably seen a little bit of it on our app if you've been exploring. You can access it on any device, on any browser, or you can access it right on the app. What's great about the app is you can watch it without internet. All these trainings are go at your own pace. It's a remote coaching app, okay? That's what this is. It's a remote coaching app, and you can go at your own pace. We already have it all set up for you. You have a track to run on. I already talked to you about our content calendar. That's another huge aspect of it, but I'm telling you, content without this training, the training is going to give you the strategy. The content is just going to give you the content. And if you just post the content without the training, you are not going to grow as fast, because your training is going to give you the strategy. So I say this all the time where people are like, okay, the content's not working. I'm like, well, I see you haven't done the Insta Launch Challenge yet. And they're like, yeah, because I don't know how to do any of this stuff. I'm like, girl, do the Insta Launch Challenge and you'll get more from your content because you'll have the strategy in place too. Community. You guys, look, working a virtual business in our company can feel a little lonely, can't it? Because it's not the mainstream strategy. And there are a lot of people who have been with the company for a long time who are more old school. I hate to put it that way, but they're more old school. And they're really set on us working our business in person. And in-person business is great. There's absolutely nothing wrong with working our business in person. But if you're trying to work your business virtually, you can feel a little bit of pushback with these virtual strategies. And I know I felt a little bit of pushback when I first started doing this stuff because I was one of the only people doing it. Now there are many more people, but we needed a community. I needed a community. I needed support. I needed other beauty consultants who I knew who were doing the same thing I was, that we could share ideas and feedback and accountability and help each other. So that's why we have the community aspect on here, so that you know you're not alone and that you've got support from other like-minded people who are also working their business virtually. We also, the other aspect is support Our members get extra support from us. We do weekly live group coaching sessions right within the app. We also have a dedicated support course that answers all your questions. So if you've ever been like, I wish I could talk to somebody about this, I wish I could ask somebody how to do this, that's what that support course is for. I also have Britorials. I'm going to show you a screenshot of it. So here's a Britorial. Can I just share the story of the Britorials? Here's what happened. I'm sure you've noticed I talk kind of fast. So I was making these tutorials, and they were just screen recordings that I was showing people. First you click here, then you do this, then you do this, then you do this, then you do this. And the feedback I was getting from people is they're like, your tutorials are great, but like, I can't follow along. You go too fast. I don't know what you're doing. And can't you just like talk it over on the phone with me and talk me through step by step how to do it? And while I would love to do that, I can't do that for, I think we now have like 600 people on our app, right? So I didn't have the time to do that, right? So I created these Britorials, which is an interactive slideshow with my video on it that is basically like having me there to talk you through every step of the way. You want to see one? I'm going to show it to you. So this right here is a Britorial. And see, okay, I'm going to show you. Here's my video. You may or may not be able to hear it, but it doesn't matter. So you go through these and you slide through, and it's interactive. So you can click on these things. Like you're like, this is what I want to do. I want to set up a new account. I want to add a new account, or I want to optimize my current account. So if we did set up a new account, I'm going to take you through downloading the app. I'm going to take you through, you can tell I recorded these in the summer, but I give you step by step. So you go at your own pace. You complete the step, and then you move on to the next thing. So this is a really cool thing that makes our training and our support so special, is that we really do hold your hand as we teach you how to do everything. So that's support. And we also have, if you loved this strategy session here, if you loved how we did this evaluation, we have a more in-depth one available to our members, where you basically put in your insights. Like you give me your numbers and you put them in this form, and then I tell you exactly what to do. So it is more in depth than this. So those of you who are like, I already completed the Insta-Launch Challenge, I don't know what to do, and you're already on our app, this is what you do next so that you know your next step. So anyway, so you are invited, if you're not a member yet, to join us on the app. So your alternative action plan would be, if you don't want to do the action plan I gave you, is to just do the Insta-Launch Challenge, and we'll give you all of it in 6 weeks, and you'll have it all in place in 6 weeks. So let me tell you a bit about this. So who this app is for. This app is for you if you are building a serious business. So as I said before, like these are strategies, like these take a commitment. They take a time commitment. They take a consistency commitment, right? There is going to be a monetary commitment as a member, right? So I don't recommend, if you are a hobby business, to invest in something like this, because it's just not going to be, you're not going to get the long-term results as somebody who's working their business seriously. This is also for you if you've already tapped out your family, friends, and customers, and you're looking for strategies to find cold leads. This is for you if you spend all your time finding leads, making booking calls, and chasing people around only to still worry where your next customer is coming from. This is also for you if you're tired of making excuses for yourself not knowing this stuff. Who is this not for? This is not for you if you're looking for a quick fix and not a long-term strategy. This is not for you if your business is a hobby, as I said, or if you're really brand new. Like if you're in the company less than 3 months, you might hold off. Plug into what your director's doing. Plug into what your national is doing. Plug into what the company is offering. Really get your feet wet in this business first before you start taking on some of these new strategies. It's not for you if you're not willing to commit to investing time, money, and effort in growing your skill set. And it is not for you if you would rather work your business offline and in person. This is really a virtual this is totally a virtual business strategy. Of course, you can do both, but I'm saying if you're not looking to work your business virtually, obviously it's not the strategy for you. Because if you're serious about using social media to grow your business, then the truth is you've got to get serious about using social media to grow your business. You really, a social media lead generation strategy, and one that delivers those consistent leads for you, that gets rid of that Zoom eek cycle, is something you've got to commit to and that you've got to get serious about. And it's not something that you can just dabble in, and because it won't do it for you. Does that make sense? So you've got to if you really want to grow your business, if you're serious about using social media to grow your business, then you've got to get serious about using social media to grow your business. Here's a screenshot, some great reviews from our students. You've also seen some in the comments. I'm not going through them. You can take a look at them if you want to know what they say. A couple other things that our students have said. This got posted in our Facebook group the other day. So happy I'm joining the Beauty Boss Tribe. I'm on day 12 of the Insta Launch Challenge, and I've already seen so much growth with the content calendar. Thank you for such an amazing app. This one showed these numbers. Look at this. Her total followers increased by 7.3%. Her engagement is up. Her accounts reach is up. She said these are all from the posts in the library. So now you're probably asking, you're like, okay, what is the investment? What is the membership? And here we're going to go into the Q&A portion. I'm going to do some frequently asked questions first. And then we will dive in and I will answer your questions. So your first question is probably, what's the investment, right? Like, how much does it cost to be a Beauty Boss member? So our membership is $49 a month. But you will get your first 7 days free to try it out. So that is my gift to you for being part of our New Year, New Graham. So you can try it out. You can get 7 days free to just kind of look around. You can go into the content calendar. You can get all the posts in the content calendar that are up right now. You can take, if you can go super fast, you can do the Insta Launch Challenge in a week if you want to. But that is our membership fee that we have going on right now. And there's no commitment and you can cancel anytime. All right. Another frequently asked question, like, what's the time commitment to do this stuff? So I'm going to tell you, when you do the Insta Launch Challenge, the Insta Launch Challenge is designed to be completed in 6 weeks in under an hour a day for 6 weeks with 1 day off a week. Okay. To catch up. So some days are less than an hour, but if you can commit to an hour a day for 6 weeks, that will get you through the Insta Launch Challenge. Now, can you go slower? Yeah, sure. You could totally go slower. You could do it all in one big chunk. Okay. You can do it however you want to, at your own pace, but we recommend you do the Insta Launch Challenge an hour a day for 6 weeks. So that's what I say with that. And then after the Insta Launch Challenge, you want to plan. It just depends on how many power hours you're going to do. So really, that's what you would have to plan, is an hour for each power hour that you want to do for your business. How long will it take to see results? Okay, so remember, this is a long-term strategy. This is not a quick fix strategy. This is a long-term strategy. So we have found with the numbers that with consistent effort, with doing a power hour Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, you're going to see significant results in 60 to 90 days is where you will start really seeing the results. So it takes time to build your audience. It takes time for people to get used to seeing your content. It takes time for people to start taking action on your stuff. So 60 to 90 days is where you're going to really start to see results. That's going to put us at mid-April here if you started today. So I want you to think about your seminar goals and how long you want it to be to start seeing results, right? Because the later you start, the more it's going to push things back, seeing those results. What do posts in the content calendar look like? So I'm going to show you our January post that we've got up right now. Every year we have a new brand kit. So this is our style for this year. It's kind of fun. These are our weeks. You're going to see we do weekly topics in our content calendar. These are our January topics. And then these are what the posts look like. So that welcome new members, that's a Facebook group post. You see the story where it says join me live. That is a story post. So we got some other posts that you see in there. So you can see kind of the look and the feel of our posts, but every post that we give you has a Canva template. So you can totally edit it to be yours. You can change the colors. You can change the fonts. You can change the photos, whatever you want to do, you can edit it to be your own. Many of our posts just already have graphics ready to go if you don't want to edit them. Do you post from the content calendar for us, or do we post it ourselves? This I get asked a lot. We do not post for you. We create the content and plan the content for you, and then you post on your own. So you would either put it in your Meta Business Suite to schedule it, or Hootsuite, or just post it directly into Instagram, directly into Facebook. So we give you the content, you post the content. What's the difference between your content and another company that charges less and posts to my group for me? So when people, what they're referring to in this question is there are a lot of other companies out there that serve the Mary Kay sales force that create graphics that they post, say, in your Facebook group for you. And it's like 15 to 20 bucks a month. So here's what makes our content different than that. Their posts are great, but I want you to think of those. Those are more like announcement posts. Many of them that are just like letting people know what's going on and specials and posting to your unit. Our posts are lead generation posts. So there's strategy involved. We give you 3 different posts a day, one for each channel, your Instagram feed, your stories, and your Facebook group. And so these are designed not to just get you engagement, not to just fill your feed, not to just give announcements. These are designed to actually evoke curiosity in your audience and drive them to take action. So that's what makes our content different. So in case you are wondering about that. But I'm going to tell you to plan and create our content. So most beauty consultants are not content creators. And most beauty consultants do not realize how much time it takes to create the strategy and the content you need. That's why people hire social media managers and content creators. And I'm going to tell you that between me and our whole team Beauty Boss, it takes 40 to 50 hours a month for us to create your content calendar for you every month with all 90 posts. At least. What did you say, Ellery? I see her nodding now. At least 40 to 50 hours a month between us to create this for you. And that's how long it would take for you to create your own and an effective strategy. So if you think about it that way, that is how much time we are saving you through your $49 a month. Do you offer social media management or one-on-one coaching? No, we do not. Kinda. The short answer is no. Okay. For 3 reasons. Number 1, social media management and one-on-one coaching are really expensive. My rate for one-on-one coaching is $200 an hour. Most beauty consultants can't afford that in their business. That is expensive. Social media management is going to cost you anywhere from $600 to $1,000 a month and upwards for people to manage your social media for you. So it's expensive. 2, I don't have the time to do it. I still have young kids. Look, I want to live the life I'm hustling for. So I don't offer a whole lot of time for one-on-one coaching and for social media management. And the 3rd is you don't need to. You don't need to. We already have the framework put in place for you. We have already saved you a ton of time by creating this stuff for you. So I want you to save your money and save your time and invest it in what we have already created for you. I've got a 7-year-old or a 6.5-year-old knocking at my door. How long will I have access to the training? As long as you're a member. So as long as your membership is active, you can access the training. If you cancel your membership, you'll lose access to it at the end of your billing period. What if I don't have an Instagram account yet? We'll help you set one up. What if I'm not tech savvy? Great. You'll fit in with most of our membership. Most of our membership is not tech savvy. So all of our training is designed and catered to people who are not tech savvy. Why do you charge for your programs? I get asked this a lot because, okay, I'm a Mary Kay consultant charging other Mary Kay consultants for this. Let's just be real and be honest. And I'm going to explain to you exactly why, because I do get asked this from people. Listen, I would love nothing better than to make this free for you. In fact, that was how I started out, was making it free for you. But I learned very quickly that in order to provide this for you, this stuff costs money. I have to pay a staff to create this content for you. We have to pay for programs and platforms to make it available to you. Not to mention, the reason I have time to create all of this, I've had to put my own Mary Kay business off to the side. So that's why a national or other people who have cracked this code, who have these big businesses in Mary Kay, don't do what we do here for you, because they don't have time. They're building their own organization. But because I am not a sales director anymore, because I am not focused on growing my Mary Kay business, I have the time to put in this and to provide this for you. And so, I mean, this is my source of income. So nobody's here getting rich off of Mary Kay Consultants. We are here just working with you and trying to provide what we can for you at the lowest possible price. Can I wait and get started another time? Sure, you can start whenever you want to, but the later you start, the later you'll see results. So just think about that. How do I get started? All right, let me take you in here. You probably already figured out below there's a form to get started with your Beauty Boss membership. You can sign up. You'll see it says sign up now to get 7 days free. So just click the Let's Go button and you're going to fill out a whole bunch of questions. And so when you go through there, you'll want to answer all the questions on the form. Let us know if somebody referred you because they'll get a week free for their membership. By the way, you can get your membership for free if you refer people. So for every person someone refers in our every person our member refers, they get another week free in their membership. So let us know if someone referred you. You can choose now, you guys, where you're offering annual and monthly memberships. If you choose the annual, you get a week free out of there. Or I'm sorry, not a week free. If you choose the annual, you save a month. All right. So you get a month free. So you actually end up paying for 11 months, but you get 12 months. That makes sense. Or monthly management membership, you choose. You'll submit your payment info. Please use your same email that you use to submit your payment info. And then you won't be charged anything today. Okay. Your card will automatically be charged 7 days from today unless you cancel first. All right. I did what? How did I make it? 6 minutes over, Ellery. 6 minutes over. I know, not too shabby. So I would love, does anybody else have any questions? We'll take the first 3 to 5 here.
And Britt, I have a thought for our audience tonight. I kind of love that almost all of them were in the clarity section because you guys are getting like the very most out of this training. You're going to start at that clarity and then you can come back to this when you have your clarity set at a 4 or 5 and you're feeling really good about it. Come back and then let's move on to content. And when that's at a 4 or 5, come back and let's move on to consistency.
Yes.
Like, I just kind of love that every single person on this, at least the people that were in the chat, they are really going to get the most of this. And so I hope that you guys don't feel that that's like a discouragement or something to be like frustrated by. It may be frustrating and that's totally valid, but I love that you're getting the most from your time with us together tonight. So
that's a super cool point.
Yeah. And also, thank you so much for everybody who was participating in the chat. We had so many people chiming in, giving us their numbers, telling us what they think about the app, just all of it. We love having you guys here. We just love this community. And I'm so glad that all of you guys were here. And it's really cool, too, to see, you guys kind of chime in and tell us, like, Donna said, like, Britt, you're a rock star. And Krista said, Britt tutorials are great step-by-steps. Like, and we just appreciate you guys. We love you and we value you. And that's why we do what we do. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, Elle. That's awesome. Thanks for saying that.
Awesome. Well, I don't see any questions coming in right now, Britt. I think you handled quite a few.
Yeah.
Dana says, no, rock bottom is the best place so as to build and grow. Yeah, 100%.
Yes, love it.
Nowhere to go but up.
That's true.
Yes. And you're in a really good place and you're with a really good company to do that. And it totally is possible. So that's really exciting.
That's awesome. All right. Let's do a last call for questions. If anyone has any.
I don't see any others. I see some thank yous coming through. I want to encourage you guys, just so you know, you're going to get some emails from us for the next couple of days that are going to walk you through how to register. And you do get a 7-day trial. Brittany does her live weekly coachings every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central Time. So that is a week from today. So if you guys go ahead and start that 7-day trial, if you do have questions that we were not able to get to tonight, post them in that weekly live coaching and we can kind of follow up with you on that. Let me see here. We do actually have one from Trine. Let's see what she says. It's kind of a bigger one. Would you recommend the Insta Launch Challenge again? She's been through it. So clarity is a consistent issue. So would you recommend that she goes through the challenge again?
So it depends, Trine. I would say clarity is so hard. It really is the hardest part, you guys. It's the hardest part, but it's like the most important, because once you get that clarity, once you really nail down that niche, like worlds open up for you. So Trine, here's what I would say. Before you go and do that, come on a weekly call, okay, and present your niche to me there, and let's talk it through on a weekly call. It might just require some tweaking. It might just require some feedback and us kind of sharing ideas. So before you go do the whole thing again, let's take what you've got, come bring it on the weekly call, and let's see if we can talk you through it and see if that would make a difference. And then at the end of it, you might decide, you know what, I think I want to redo it. So that's what I recommend there.
And as a reminder for those who cannot make it on a Thursday afternoon, that's okay. If you go to that live weekly coaching course that you're going to see right on our app, there is a link that you can click to submit your questions prior to the live weekly coaching. Brittany will answer them for you on the live, and then you can come back and watch it later. So it is definitely beneficial if you can be on live, because then you can kind of banter back and forth with you. But if you can't make it, still please ask your question, because she'll answer it for you.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. This is the live weekly coaching right here. So actually I haven't changed it from today's session, but you can always catch the replay. And then here's where you can submit your questions right in here. The other thing I do want to tell you guys, and I meant to say this in the thing, is after you sign up, the first thing you want to do is this course right here. And actually, whether you become a member or not, you all have access to this course right here. Especially this right here, there's a super cool training in here for you where we talk about lead generation. I do touch on some things we talked about tonight, but there's some new information in there. So this is where you start. So where it says start here, even if you're going in the Insta Launch Challenge, that you can do this course in under an hour, just to make sure you know how to use everything on the app and how to access it all. So
yeah, perfect. And Dana asked if there will be a replay of this training. I did mention this in the comments, but yes, there will. Right on the same site that you're on, we're going to leave this replay available to you. And you'll actually be getting an email from us later this evening with that link again. So you can bookmark it, whatever you need to, so that when you're ready to move on to the next step, you can really easily access it.
It's right here. If you click on New Year, New Graham under Learn, New Year, New Graham, replay. And in fact, it's already up because I just had it streaming in here anyway. So, yeah.
Great.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, Britt, great job tonight. This was a really great training. There were some things that you said that were a little different than before. And I was over here like, oh,
I saw you. You know, honestly, like, I think I did pretty good on time. Like, we cut down a lot of extra stuff. Oh, Dana has a question. Yes. Yeah.
We're actually going to be hosting 2 more events. We have 2 more events coming up, so they can still register. We have one coming up on the 23rd at 1 p.m. Central and on the 25th at 7 p.m. Central again. So you can share that with them. They can register. And again, they'll be able to access the replay at any time if they can't make those times.
Thank you. Yep. Definitely share.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ellery. Thank you, all of you who are still, the 22 of you still on watching. I know this was long, but we planned on it being we knew it was going to be a long event. So you guys, thank you so much. So we are rooting for you, whether you become a Beauty Boss member or not, you are still part of the Beauty Boss community. And we are just rooting for you. We are cheering you on. We are encouraging you. Please reach out if we can help you with anything. And thanks again, you guys. So you have a great night, and you guys get those goals, like finish out this year strong. Okay. Good. Whether it's this stuff or not, we want you to make it happen. All right. Thanks, everybody. Good night.